Hello, everyone. My name is Noe, and today I will be sharing with you guys a few steps that you guys can take and hopefully will help you guys whenever debilitative emotions arise in order to minimize them as best as possible. Now, we know that debilitative emotions are often brought up unconsciously without us knowing from fallacies or irrational thinking. Now we want to be able to be empowered, be emotionally intelligent as best as possible. And hopefully these steps will help you guys whenever these emotions do arise. Now, the first step would have to be to monitor your emotional reactions. It is important to recognize and be aware of the emotion that you're feeling, how your body is reacting to that certain emotion is also important. And so it can, it's as simple as naming the emotion and rating it, on a scale of 1 to 10. Now that we know and we have pointed out the emotion that we're feeling, we then go ahead and take note of the event that is working us up. We know, and hopefully there is something that is activating that emotion, or otherwise known as the activating event, that is causing for you to feel that certain way. Now, once you are aware of what triggers you or triggers that emotion, you address it. And by addressing that, you are taking ownership for your thoughts, your actions, your reactions. And it leads to a sense of empowerment because, we know what we're feeling and we know what caused it. So we are beginning to be empowered over that emotion. Now that we know these two things, we can then go ahead and listen in on your self-talk. Now, this point, what it does, it helps you analyze the thoughts that are linked between the activating event and your feelings at that moment. You are able to step back, and see both things and realize, okay, is what I'm feeling enough or not enough due to whatever it is that caused it. So now that you've kind of stepped back, you've listened in on your own self-talk, you can then go ahead and dispute that irrational belief. And by doing so, I think that this is a key in coming this is a key in encountering the debilitative emotion, because you want to counter any emotion, any debilitative emotion, with the most positive self-talk as possible. Now, just to give you guys a quick little example as to how you can use these steps whenever they do arise. Let's say, for example, me, I am taking a test, I am preparing for a test, and I may study, I may not, and I failed this test. Now, automatically, without me realizing it, because of the fact that I failed, I can start thinking to myself, damn, I'm a loser, I'm a failure, man, like school isn't for me. And I start to begin all these, negative emotions that eventually will kind of like beat me up. And so you begin to realizing what exactly it is you're feeling at that moment. And I, could be feeling anger, I could be feeling stress. And so next, I go ahead and realize what it is that triggered that anger, that stress, and in that case would be me failing the test. Now next, I go ahead and step back and think to myself, okay, now see all the factors that I could have done in order to pass the test, all the possible counter factors that led for me to fail this test, and see how that affects the way I'm feeling, everything I'm thinking, the anger, the stress, and analyze both situations as best I can. Then begin to dispute that irrational thinking. I would ask myself, or simply write it down, or express this to somebody. Is there any evidence that my belief is true? Whatever it is I'm feeling, whatever it is I'm thinking is true. Then I go ahead and think to myself, or express what bad can happen if I keep that thought, if I keep that emotion. And then finally, see what good can happen if I do keep those negative feelings. And that would be, a way to dispute that irrational feeling, in order for me to become empowered over, me feeling that certain way, me feeling that anger, me feeling that stress. And so with all this in mind, I hope that whenever a debilitative emotion does arise, you are able to, hopefully these steps can lead for you to become empowered over that emotion, over that activating event. And with that in mind, I'm going to hand it over to Dom, where he is going to explain to you guys and give you guys a few steps in order to maximize facilitative emotions, what at the end of the day is what we want for everyone.